Miss Israel Melanie Shiraz is in New York, taking part in the New York Fashion Week before heading to Thailand next month to compete in the Miss Universe pageant. This all coming at a time when Israel is facing growing isolation in parts of the entertainment arena as the war continues, impacting some actors in the movie world and even contestants at the Eurovision Song Contest. So right now, it's a pleasure to welcome Miss Israel Melanie Shiraz. And right now, she joins us from Washington. Thank you so much for your time, Melanie. Such stark contrast. Today, terror attacks right here in Israel, an ongoing war here at home, much division, anti-Semitism globally. And then there's the lights, the camera and action of the fashion and beauty world. What a time for you to be abroad as a cultural ambassador. What is it like for you right now being in the United States? Tell us more.
So the duality that you were just mentioning is something that I really struggle with. And ultimately, I think that I've learned that it's very important to balance the struggle of our people and advocating for them and showing the world what we're going through and giving us a voice, and also making sure that that voice is human. So, partaking in things like Miss Universe, Eurovision, and cultural platforms that allow us to show a different side, and not just the politics and the grief.
And it certainly isn't easy, as you say, holding what is happening in the country and then being on that global stage. You aren't just representing Israel in terms of beauty and fashion. You also are playing a role in terms of education and technology as well, a degree from Berkeley and an MBA from Tel Aviv University. Tell us more about your work in the tech world, such a massive part of Israeli culture in the startup nation.
Of course. So I think that's probably the defining factor that makes me an Israeli delegate. I think that we show that we're not just beauty, we're also brains. A lot of us come from tech, and Berkeley is actually where I learned about, the struggles of anti-Semitism in the diaspora and what kind of led me onto this journey. And so I've tried to weave that in with my career in tech, where, I've worked as a data scientist in Silicon Valley for the last several years and built my own company. But now I've decided that it's time to kind of pivot into something that's more meaningful and that I'm more passionate about, which is really giving a voice to the Israeli and Jewish community worldwide.
And to that exact point, many young women looking up to you, possibly hoping for positive insights at this incredibly difficult time for the whole nation. Talk us through some of the challenges facing women in the country right now. Obviously, resilience is key.
Yeah, I think in Israel right now, a lot falls on women, especially when, so much of the country is in reserves. I do think that Israeli women are an incredible example of feminism and empowerment. And, 30% of us, we constitute 30% of the tech workforce, which is a lot. It's not enough, but it's a lot. And so I'm very proud to be part of that. And yeah, what I want to show the world is that, we can be beautiful and we can be smart. And it's something that, it's a duality that I've always kind of struggled with. And I think that that's what makes me such a good representation of Israeli women now.
And soon you'll be flying the Israeli flag high in Thailand. How are you preparing to represent Israel at Miss Universe? You must have many emotions.
Yeah, so it's been stressful. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be prepared, and the more important part to me is how I want to represent our people and the messaging that I want to convey. And so that's been the bulk of the work for me. But also, there's the more glamorous things like New York Fashion Week, where I've been right now, and like training on the walk and everything that has to do with pageants, which is not at all my space. So I'm learning everything for the first time.
And to that exact point, what message would you have for those who have been protesting against Israeli participation at film festivals or Eurovision or any arena that is totally removed from the politics of war, a war that sees Israel defending itself from ongoing existential threats? What is your response to that?
Yeah, of course. So reserving my political views, putting those aside, I think that this is a very important opportunity, as I was saying, to present Israel and Israelis as human. And not just political headlines. And I think that that's why, in a time where even our representation in Eurovision is being challenged, these kinds of cultural platforms are become even more important because the vast majority of the audience for Miss Universe is in Asia and Latin America, and that's a demographic that we don't normally interact with. And maybe now, because I go there and put my best foot forward and show the world, the beauty of the Israeli people, maybe those people will have a better understanding or experience of what Israelis really are.